Imagine that you're watching this video because you are looking for tips on how to handle those tantrums in a better way and how to make things just a little more pleasant around your home. Hi everybody, and welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, welcome. My name is Crystal and I do videos on pregnancy, parenting, life with a toddler and a teenager, and generally how to live a more accessible, healthy lifestyle. So today's video is going to be all about toddler tantrums. If you have a toddler, then I am sure that you have experienced some of these wonderful outbursts of very big feelings from your little one. And it can be very frustrating, it can be very confusing, it can sometimes even be infuriating. And I would imagine that you're watching this video because you are looking for tips on how to handle those tantrums in a better way and how to make things just a little more pleasant around your home with your kiddo. So first, I want to give a little disclaimer. I am not a parenting expert, okay? I have done my own research and we have our parenting style that we incorporate with our kids. I've studied my children, but I am just another mama out here in these mom streets trying to survive. But I do hope that something that I have learned, something that we've incorporated in our house can help you work through the tantrums that you're experiencing. Maybe the exact techniques I offer might work for you, or maybe they'll just inspire you and help you to find your own way with your kids. So with that being said, I will say you might see me look away from time to time. I do have a lot of notes on this one. It's a big topic. There's a lot to cover. So if I do look away, I apologize. I'm simply trying to make sure I don't miss a thing because I want you to feel supported and like you've got lots of information. So I might have to look at my notes from time to time. There will be a part 2 of this video where I will share our tactics for supporting ourselves and our kiddos through the tantrums that will inevitably happen. Okay, so first things first, I want to talk about understanding your toddler and understanding why the tantrums are happening in the first place. All right, so if you think about it, children are human beings. They are complete people from the moment they're born, right? They're not lesser than, they are not inferior, they're not dumb. They are real people with real emotions that have their own way of looking at the world and they're experiencing it. Yes, they are learning how to human from the time they're born. We are teaching them and modeling for them from the time that they are born, but they are taking in so much information and so much is happening, but they are real people. They deserve to be treated as such. The baseline. Everything that I'm going to talk about here is coming from the perspective of your child is a person with their own point of view, their own emotions, and they deserve to be respected and treated like a person. Toddlers often experience these big feelings and big emotions because they simply have no self-control yet. And they're also feeling a lack of control. If you really think about it, there's so much that we control in their life. And we have to, right? We have to make sure that they're taken care of. We have to make sure that they're safe, that they're learning the appropriate way to do things. But from their point of view, we are just always telling them what to do. Telling them what to do, what to eat, where to be, how to act. We're always telling them what to do. So they don't feel like they have any kind of control. They also have not yet learned self-control. So they are all impulse at this age. That is perfectly normal and it's age appropriate. They're also very self-centered and they want what they want. Again, very age appropriate. They don't have a full interest or awareness of becoming a productive, contributing member of your family or society at large. They are me, myself, and I in this moment. And all of these things can lead to these crazy moments that you're experiencing that might leave you like, what is happening right now? Especially when they first start happening. Your baby goes from, going with the flow, and then all of a sudden they're having meltdowns at the drop of a hat. And it can really catch you off guard if this is your first, or if maybe you had a super chill, mellow first kid and maybe the second one is now having tantrums, if this is your first time experiencing tantrums, it can come out of nowhere and you never know when it's going to happen. Like, you never know when that first tantrum is going to strike. So just want to lay the foundation of understanding, like, this is kind of why all of this is happening. It's perfectly normal. Okay, repeat after me. It is perfectly normal for my child, my toddler, to have tantrums. And the sooner you accept that and accept that this is just a part of your life in this stage of your child's life, the less frustrated that you'll be. And honestly, the better you'll be able to support your child through this season of their life. All right, so let's talk prevention. I think the saying is an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. So in this case, an ounce of prevention is worth even one tantrum that doesn't happen. So when you think about things that you can do to make sure your child's days are set up in a way that they are emotionally and physically supported, that's what we're talking about with prevention. Because again, there are lots of reasons why these big feelings come up. We can do our best to prevent those things, to avoid triggers, to make sure that they are set up for success. First thing I want you to think about is, are your child's needs met? And you might say, yes, of course they are. What kind of parent do you think I am? I'm not judging you, mama. I'm asking you if your kid is hungry, have they had water, and have they had their nap? I know those are things that we tend to think of when they're in that infant stage, and we're on the nap schedule. We're making sure, okay, oh, you're crying, are you hungry, that kind of thing. But once they get a little more independent, a little older, their schedules become a little more flexible and self-guided. It can be easy to lose sight of those things. Maybe they need a snack. Maybe they need a glass of water. Maybe they've been awake a little too long and it's time for that nap. So I know personally, and think about yourself, again, they're humans. When I am hungry or I am tired, I am not in my most rational state. All right, I told my husband when we first started courting, like, listen, if at some point I am just like snapping at you for no reason, offer me a sandwich and then tell me to take a nap. But odds are, it can be the same with your child. If they are having more meltdowns and fits than normal, it's typically one of those things. And I will even say to this day, like, trying to figure out the wake window when they're at one nap at a certain age, especially as Brixton's almost 2.5. And we're creeping up, soon that nap will be gone. Right now, he definitely still needs it, but that wake window can be a little tricky. You put him down too soon, he won't really take a good nap. You try to put him down too late and he's overtired. So trying to figure out that wake window can be a little tricky, but if your kid is melting down and you can tell they're tired, just put them down for their nap. Next, say yes whenever possible. All right, so on my channel, I encourage that you always be honest with yourself. This is one of those moments. Are you having your own tantrums in the form of being a bit of a control freak? I'm just asking. Again, I'm not judging. This is one that I really had to self-examine myself on, because I found that I was insisting that things be done a certain way because that's the way I wanted them to be done, but they didn't need to be done that way. So is it the same with you? Like, are you insisting that it happened the way you envisioned it in your head, but really you don't have to? Like, you don't have to say no. You don't have to say we can't do it like that, when you could be saying yes. And I'll give you an example. Last year, Brixton was, I think, like maybe 17 months, and it was starting to get nice outside. This was also the first spring and summer season where he would have been out and about, because before he was an infant, we probably didn't go out as much as I probably will with this next one, but it was new. He loved being outside suddenly. Like, he hated being hot and all that, but it was nice outside. He wanted to be outside. We had gotten home from school and he wanted to go outside. So usually if I have a hard time getting him in the house from outside, then I can promise him, okay, once we get inside, while mommy gets dinner ready, you can go out on the deck. It's like a little walkout. So you can go out on the deck and be outside where mommy can see you. I can still do dinner and you're safe. And so this was one of those nights. He was out on the deck playing and just looking at bugs and things and just being outside. And dinner was ready. It was just the two of us home that night. And I was trying to get him to come inside for dinner. He wanted no parts of coming inside. Didn't care if it was dinner time. He wanted to be outside. In that moment, I could have insisted that he come inside. No, we're going to have dinner at the table like we do every night. Blah, 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 blah. For what? What purpose would that have served? Here's what would have happened. I guarantee you. Meltdown, screaming, fighting, resisting coming inside, clawing at the door, not eating his food, perhaps even throwing his food, and we would have been crazy delayed in getting to bed. And I would have been frustrated. He would have been upset and frustrated. To what end? Like, what would have been the point in that? So instead, what I did was I said, okay. I got something, I think I got like a big sheet of like craft paper, put it out on the rug outside, and I set up dinner outside. We ate al fresco. And then when it started getting a little dark, because it was just spring, we finished our dinner, we came inside and we went up and we had a bath. Tantrum avoided. That was prevention. That was saying yes when I could have easily said no. Next one is finding ways throughout their day to give them a sense of independence, control, and contribution. You might be thinking, okay, this child isn't even 2 yet, or my kid is only 2. What do you mean? Kids want to be independent. They want to have some sort of autonomy. They want to feel like they have control over something in their lives. If somebody was constantly telling you exactly what you had to do, I bet that would bother you. If you have a job right now where you have that situation going on, that probably is one of the reasons why you hate your job. If you really think about it, nobody wants that. Nobody wants to be constantly told what to do. They want to feel like they have control over something in their lives, over some situations and circumstances. And they also are getting to that age where, yeah, things might have been a lot focused on them, or which I don't necessarily fully recommend, but we can talk about that in a different video. But they are starting to see like and be aware of the rest of the family, and they want to feel like they have some sort of contribution. Like, well, I see daddy fixing stuff. I see mommy cleaning and cooking dinner. I see if they have older siblings, like I see them doing things. Like, I want to do something. Can I help? Toddlers love to help. Okay, so they want to feel like they're contributing. And I know that might sound like it conflicts what I said earlier in the video, like they're very self-centered, but they are, but they have their moments where they want to feel like they want to contribute. They want to help out. They're both true. Both of those statements are true. They're not mutually exclusive. Again, they're learning how to human. They're all bringing all these different things together to form who they're going to be as older people. It's like 0 to 3 stage is very formative. You got to go with it. You can't expect it to be one thing all the time. And it's not one size fits all for every child. But give them ways to feel independent. Some ways that you can do that. Let them choose their outfit from seasonally appropriate options. If you have a mix of summer and fall and winter clothes in their drawers, or if their things are not accessible to them, I would recommend that you change that. I do. I have found that the more that Brixton can do for himself, the more independent he's able to feel, the more empowered he feels, and the less we have to worry about tantrums. So we have all of his clothes set up so that he can get to them. We do have some higher drawers that he can't reach. That's where, now that he's finally in that stage where we can have clothes that might last another season. But we saved all the 2Ts. All that stuff is on the drawers he can't reach. Everything that he can reach is seasonally appropriate. Let him pick his clothes if he wants to. Some more, and I'll ask, do you want to pick your outfit, or do you want mommy to pick out your outfit? This more, like most of the time, honestly, he'll be like, you pick it. But when he was in that early toddler stage, he wanted to pick it. He wanted to pick because he was just starting to feel that sense of autonomy. So he wanted to do it himself. Now he's like, I know I can pick it. I know I can go over there and get it out the drawer. You can do it. Again, you got to go with the flow, but let them have that choice. Make things, like I say, around the house, make things accessible for them so they don't feel like they have to rely on you or ask you for everything. We follow Montessori at home, in our home. So that's an entirely different video again, but we do have everything set up so that he can reach it. His toys are laid out in a way that he can get to them, his activities. Everything is on his level. In the kitchen, his snacks are in the bottom shelf of the pantry. He can get to them. I keep the door open so I don't have to worry about him pinching his fingers in that slide door. His bowls, plates, cups, everything is in the bottom drawer. He can reach it. He can get to everything that he needs. He has a table that's set up at his height, so he can go up to the table if he wants to. Like literally, he could come up to me and ask me if he could have a snack, go get his snack, sit down at his table and have it. That gives a child a feeling of control and autonomy. It's them to help you with little tasks throughout the day. And it's not child labor. It's not, controlling them. It's giving them the option. I can ask, like in the morning, I'll say Brixton's potty trained, but he's not night trained yet. So in the morning after I change his diaper, if he seems like he's a little scattered, I will be quick to say, like this morning, I asked him if he wanted to pick out his outfit. He said, no, mommy, do it. But he was like all over the place. I couldn't get him to sit down to put his underwear on. We had changed his diaper. So I was like, okay, can you take the diaper to the bathroom, to the diaper pail for me while I pick out your outfit? Okay. He took the diaper. I knew he was fine. He went down the hall to the bathroom, put it in the diaper pail. He came back. He sat down in front of me. He was ready to put on his underwear. And that time I had gotten all of his stuff out. He was ready to sit down and get dressed. He enjoys doing stuff like that. Okay, hey, can you go tell daddy or ask daddy to come here for me? Here, daddy left his phone. Can you take it to him? Can you get your plate and your cup and your silverware out and put them on the table while mommy finishes dinner? These little tasks, he is happy to do. If at some point he's like, no, that's fine. He has chosen to not do it. And that is fine. I'm not going to insist that he do it. He's 2. Not to insist that he do it. Okay, I'll do it. That's fine. But that's a rare situation. Usually it's okay. And he'll jump to it literally like, okay, and pop and go and do what I'm asking him to do. That gives him a feeling of contribution to the household. He is helping mommy. He is helping daddy. He loves it. And sometimes he'll offer. Sometimes if you go to do something, no, I'll do it. Okay, you can do it. So they want to be able to do things. They want to feel like they are a big person too. I don't recommend necessarily that you say that, but they want to do the things that you're doing. Another way that you can give them some form of control is in giving them choices. So let's say that you aren't set up to be able to put their clothes at their height. Let's say you don't have a dresser and all you have is hanging outfits and you can't let them go in and pick out their own clothes. What you could do is take 2 different outfit options, lay them on the bed and say, okay, do you want to wear this outfit or this one? What shoes do you want to wear today? You want to choose a book from the living room or a book from your room for nap time? Do you want mommy to carry you or do you want to walk? We're still getting to the point. We're going where we're going. We're doing what we need to do. But you get to choose how you want that to happen or what that looks like based on 2 options that I am providing you that are approved. That goes a long way. Again, they feel like they have a sense of control. The next piece of prevention is giving your child attention, like real attention. Try to spend at least 10 minutes a day one-on-one with your kid without distractions. And I know that could seem hard and you probably feel like I'm with them all the time, but are you really with them? Are you really being present? Think about how you feel. Maybe you're in a situation with like your spouse and you feel like your spouse isn't listening when you're talking or they're in their phone or whatever. And you're like, well, we were together. No, we weren't together because you weren't really paying attention. You were watching TV, you were doing this. It's the same with your kid. You might feel like you're together, but what they see is, well, you were washing dishes, you were cooking, you were on your phone, you were on your computer, you were picking up the living room, you were doing this. Like, you weren't really with them. Being with them for that, like, intense direct play, whether it's, do you want to play? Do you want to do an activity? Or just cuddles and talking, whatever that looks like. And I let that kind of be a little bit more child-led, what that looks like in the moment, but just making sure you're giving your child one-on-one attention. Your phone is away, you're not doing something else. You are just with your kid. And I started to notice when Brixton started having tantrums was that sometimes it just seemed like it was a cry for attention, because even if they are doing something inappropriate and you are giving them this kind of maybe negative attention or correction, it's still attention. It pulls you away from what you're doing and you're forced to focus in on them. So what I started asking Brixton was, hey, you don't seem like yourself right now. Do you need mommy's attention? And even as young as he would say, yeah. And I said, okay, so when you're feeling like that, I'm sorry, because when you're playing, sometimes mommy and daddy don't notice that you want our attention because we're just trying to get dinner done or we're trying to do something. You just let us know, hey, mommy, I need your attention. Or daddy, I need your attention. You can even say, I need mommy love or something like that, just to let us know. And that way we can stop what we're doing and give you the attention that you need. Now, I know that sounds like a lot to explain to an 18-month-old, but guess what? It worked. And to this day, he will still come up, and now he just says, he'll say, I need mommy, I need mommy. And that just lets me know, okay, you want me. I know that you understand that I'm trying to make dinner and he doesn't care. He needs mommy. And he just wants me to pick him up or play with him or do something. And if it's something that I literally cannot do in the moment, I'll explain, hey, mommy needs 5 minutes to finish doing this before I can set it down, and then I can come and play with you. If I need to, if he's having, like if it's later in the evening, because meltdowns often will happen when, again, they're tired. It's a little later in the evening and I'm trying to get dinner done and he really is just completely falling apart. Then yeah, I'll try to hold him, or I'll offer him his tower. Hey, do you want to stand in your tower next to mommy while she finishes dinner? Do you want to sit here next to me while I finish getting everything on the table? But try to get one-on-one attention as possible. The next thing is to prepare them for transition. Again, think about yourself. If you're in the middle of something, you don't want somebody coming up to you and saying, okay, put down your pencil, let's go. Chop, chop, we gotta go. You want to be able to finish what you're doing. You want to be able to complete your thought. You're watching a show, you want to be able to finish your show. It's the same with kids. So we have to let them know, hey, this is what's getting ready to happen. And if you can use a natural transition, if they are having their screen time and the show has, a limit on it, try to schedule it around that show. You can wait until they're done with an activity. If they're doing something that seems to have like an end point, then you can wait until they finish. You have to pay attention because they will quickly restart that activity or get into something else. But you can wait until they're finished with that activity and that be a natural transition. You can force a natural transition if you have to. So going back to like that screen time example, if they're having screen time and there's 15 minutes left in the program, but you need to go in 5. Fast forward. Seriously, I don't think they notice at this age. Just fast forward, get it to the 5-minute mark. Okay, when your show is over, we are going to get up and go potty so that we can go to the show. You set the expectation. It has a time reference on it when the show is over, and you can go at that point. Now, I'm not saying that this will work 100% of the time, because sometimes they want to watch another program. Sometimes that's fine, but you're setting an expectation, and I found that when you set that up front, that it's easier to pull them out of that upset because, well, this is what we said was going to happen. Give them a sequence of events. Also, like, let them know what's going on in the day. Like, we always try, since he was a baby, to let Brixton know, hey, it's Tuesday. Today, you are going to go, we have a doctor's appointment today. So after you have your first nap, we're going to get dressed, and then we're going to go to the doctor. And then we'll go to the store and we'll come home, we'll eat, and we'll have another nap. That kind of thing. Or I would tell him, like, if Jeremiah was going to be at his mom's, hey, Jeremiah's not coming home after school today. He's going to be going to his mommy's house, so you won't see him today. Daddy is going to be working late, so we probably won't see Daddy tonight, but we'll see him again tomorrow. Anything like that will kind of let your kid know what to expect throughout the day. If somebody's coming over, anything that's outside of their normal routine, let them know. What I was saying before was give them a sequence of events. Yesterday we had a big old meltdown in the morning because I forgot to prepare him and let him know that it was Monday and he was going to school. He's getting to that age where he's starting to recognize what we do on days. we didn't go to church on Sunday. We attended virtually. So he didn't have that cue in his brain that we went to church, and now that's the end of the weekend and it's time to go back to school. So he literally was like, when we were getting ready to go, no problem getting ready to go, we're heading down. Okay, cool, this is great. Usually on Monday, he gets a little upset, doesn't want to put his jacket on, doesn't want to put his shoes on. He's doing all the things. This is great. We get down on the steps and he's like, we're gonna go worship. And we were like, oh no, he thinks it's Sunday. And yes, as soon as we said we were going to school and that mommy was staying home, meltdown. So we did not prepare him. We did not tell him what was going on. It did not go well. Again, I know all these things. We don't execute perfectly all the time. So today, when I went in to get him dressed, I made sure that we said, okay, it's Tuesday, and today you're gonna go to school. Mommy's gonna get you dressed, and then daddy's gonna drive you to school. So this is what we're gonna do. And I told him exactly what the morning was gonna look like. And he's like, okay. We didn't have any issues. He did all the things, went in the order that we said. I even mentioned, because he likes to have screen time in the morning. So, okay, you can watch your show. When we get downstairs, you're gonna pause it, because he likes to pause it himself. You're gonna pause it and leave it on the table, because we'll say, you leave it here, because he gets about 30 minutes in the morning and about 30 minutes in the evening. You leave it here on the table by the door, and then it'll be waiting for you here at home when you get home tonight. Set a timer if you need to. I know, as I've looked at different, parenting experts and all that, there are mixed opinions on the use of timers. We use timers not as the authority. We do not give the timer the authority. Mommy and daddy have the authority. We use the timer as a tool to make sure we are all aware and sticking to the time boundary that we agreed on. So if I say, all right, you can play for 5 minutes before we go upstairs to get in the shower, usually mommy needs to just clean up the table, then I will set a timer. All right, 5 minutes. When the timer goes off, we're gonna go upstairs. I'm gonna stop cleaning, you're gonna stop playing, and then we're gonna go upstairs and get in the shower. It works. At least that. Sometimes he'll hear the timer go off. It's the screen time timer. No, don't take it. And he'll clutch the phone. Don't take it. Or a toy or whatever it is, because he knows the timer is this is what we said. Your time is now up. I'll give him warnings. Okay, you have 2 more minutes. 1 more minute. Okay, it's almost time. But they want what they want. They want to keep doing what they're doing. But we agreed on this time. The timer is set. All right, it's time. It's time to stop. You need to set the boundaries and then stick to the boundaries. Because if you start to bend on the boundary, then it doesn't mean anything. So set it, stick to it, help them through the emotions that come with it. That is what it is. Same thing if you're at the park. All right, we have 10 more minutes before we have to leave. All right, 5 more minutes. Okay, what would you like to do before we leave the park? Because we only have 5 more minutes. Do you want to go back down the slide? Do you want to get on the swing? And I'll let him choose. If you're coming up on the last couple of minutes and he's up and down the slide, all right, let's do 5 more slides. And then you count down. All right, you have 4 more, 3 more. All right, 2 more, 1, last time down the slide. Just to set that up so that they are aware of the time limit or the restriction, whatever it might be, to say, okay, this is the end of this activity. It's time to move on and go home. All right, so I hope that gives you a better understanding of where your kiddo is coming from and how we as the parent can help prevent the occurrences of some tantrums. Note, I didn't say eliminate. They will still happen. Tantrums are 100% normal and age appropriate for this life stage. So if you found this helpful, please give this video a thumbs up so I will know that you like this type of content, and also so other mamas can find it. In part 2, I'll cover what we do in the Tate house to work through tantrums with our toddler. So if you don't want to miss that one, make sure you subscribe and hit that bell icon to turn on notifications.